Today's website audit kind of brings a fun new twist to the whole website world. I'm working with Isabel, and she told me that instead of just wanting more sales from her website, she had a unique website goal. She wanted her website to educate clients before they reach out to her. She was tired of answering the same questions over and over and really wanted her online presence, her website, to do that heavy lifting of informing her potential clients about her services. Today's audit, we're going to see how we can make her website work harder for her so that she can work smarter. Welcome to Website Design Made Simple, the podcast for busy small business owners who want a high performing website that converts and sells their offers, even while they're sleeping. Because you deserve to have a strategic and beautiful website that truly represents your brand and positions you as the expert that you are. I'm your host, Jenny B., web designer and creative director at Jenny B Designs, where we believe that your website is the one thing that makes you sales and builds your brand at the same time. Ready to say goodbye to a website that you're embarrassed to share? And hello to a money-making, personality-packed powerhouse? Let's head into today's episode. I am here with my friend Isabel. She owns Balloons Filled with Love. It's a balloon decor and photo booth business. And Isabel, welcome. I'm excited to have you here. If we were to meet in 6 months, tell me what you would wish for your website to be doing. How would it be working for you? What would be different from where it is today?
Well, it's a pleasure to be here. Thank you so much for having me. And honestly, I just want my website to educate my clients for me. Like, I don't have time to be going back and forward for like the same questions. Like I get a lot of how much is this? And then like I have the pricing on my website, at least starting pricing. And I find that people are not finding those pages or I don't know what's going on. Right. So they just initially fill out the form and ask a lot of questions that are already answered, or I feel, right? But again, I'm not my client. So it's probably that I don't have it arranged in a way that it makes sense for them or something. But ideally, in 6 months, I would like it to just answer all those questions so that the people that are actually filling my form out are, they already know that they want to work with us,
Mhm.
instead of, wasting everybody's time back and forward, which is, it's not a waste of time per se. But, if when someone's trying to plan an event, if we can cut the wondering how much something is. And that's what I want to do, just give them the information up front so they know what they're gonna get from us type of
Yeah.
situation.
Oh, wow. Okay. So that is a really interesting answer. And I love that. So you want people to really, and I will say, I feel like sometimes you can have as much information, as you can, and people just don't read. So there will be some people who
Yeah.
just are just going to ask the questions. But that's really interesting that you want people to better access the information so that you're not going back and forth and they're equipped with what they need.
I think that with balloon decor, the stuff that we can do is so wide,
Yeah.
like the range and like the type of decor that we can do, that it's just people only think of balloons as helium, inflated balloons. And that's not, we do helium, but that's not all we do. And sometimes they come with this idea from like looking at something in social media, but it's not only that, so it might be something different that's better suited for their event. But since they're not like looking at it, they might not even realize it.
Mhm.
So I don't know. I don't even know. Maybe I'm just approaching this wrong, but I just want people to get answer and be informed in what's out there, Even if they
Yeah.
decide not to go with me, at least they have a better idea of, oh, okay, this definitely will work for my event. And, I can go in
Okay.
another direction.
Okay, so maybe we'd be looking at this in terms of clarity and then attracting the right audience to work with you, finding some more clients, uh,
Yes.
and making it a little bit more direct. All right, let me share my screen so we both can look at your website. So you have, I know that you have been working on this website for quite a while. You're always making improvements and tweaks, and I love how it's looking when you land on the hero. You've got It says balloons filled with love, and then balloon decor and photo booth rental, creating unforgettable events one balloon at a time, with a button, call to action, my favorite thing to see, get a quote. I love how you have the imagery behind there, which shows a fun scene with the balloons and some of your decor. I might suggest, and I'm gonna talk about this kind of as we go throughout the website. You have a lot of information on here. I might suggest trimming it a little bit, cutting back on the amount of copy and choices for people to make. And maybe that might be able to help us streamline and get a little bit more clarity. If you removed the balloons filled with love as the first line, when someone lands there, they're going to see that balloon decor and photo booth rental up front and center. And that will hit them a little bit more in the face, and they'll get a little bit more clarity as soon as they land there. So removing that top line would be a good thing to do when someone lands there.
All right.
And I have this little tool. It's called, so everyone can do it, SEO Peak. It's a Chrome extension. Can you see that when I click it?
Yeah.
Okay, so when I click that, it shows me your page title and your meta description and your H1, which is the most important headline of your web page. And it really tells Google what this web page is about. I love to see the page title, if possible, to kind of reverse and have, I love how you have balloon decor and photo booth rental company. I think that's a really good keyword for this homepage. If that could come first instead of balloons filled with love, Google will see that first.
Okay.
And then this meta description is what people see on Google when they land. It's kind of like your ad to get people to actually click over to your page. If you can create that and make it a little bit more short and concise, what they're going to get, why they want to click over to you versus it's a little bit long right now with all your different services, that might get people to click over to your page a little bit more, kind of like your ad snippet when someone lands on Google.
And your sense.
Balloon decor and photo booth rental, that's a good H1, that's a good keyword. And what you want to do is make sure that we see those words again a few more times on that homepage. Keep that in mind as I scroll down your homepage a little bit.
Okay.
Now we're going to get to all your services, and you offer a lot of things, like you said. You have classic decor, organic garland, photo booth rental, grab and go, latex free, gift deliveries. This section right here, it looks like you have a lot of copy. Maybe we could reduce the words in the description underneath and streamline it a little bit so people are only seeing the images and what they are, the titles, these H1, these H2s. Just kind of give people a little bit more idea. We're not overwhelming them, because I do see, do each one of these options have their own page?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't have a word, I guess.
No, there's nothing wrong with that. I think there's a fine line, because you want people to have information, but we don't want to overwhelm them. And like you said, people are coming to you. Maybe there's a little bit too much and they're not even trying to figure it out. Or maybe they're just not, they don't want to take the time. Like, it could be either or. I don't want to take everything out, but maybe we could streamline this a little bit and take out this extra copy a little bit so that you just have the headlines of these services that you offer.
Okay.
And right here, this is probably, I can't tell from the front end, but it's probably your H2, your second title on this page. If you could get that keyword, our balloon decor and photo booth rental services, in that title, that would help you with your search engines and coming up a little bit more on search.
Okay, sounds good.
All right, so I'm going to keep scrolling down, and then you have view all our services. I'll click that in a second. Now it says the next section, how to order from us. And I love, this is like the 1, 2, 3 process. That's wonderful. Can we simplify this a little bit? Instead of having all the copy below, maybe, I do like how you say, share your vision, pay your invoice, relax and enjoy. maybe we could get rid of either, all of this text right here, or maybe we just have the
Okay,
1,
make
2,
it.
3, either or, so that we don't have all this text in front of us and it's a little bit simpler for people to digest. Continuing down, what are you celebrating? On these options, I noticed that you have text in your images and then you have text below. And I'm glad that you have the text below because that's the part that Google is actually going to read. They're not going to read the text from the images. Maybe we can again go with that simplification theme and take away the paragraph of copy underneath
Okay.
it and make it a little bit more streamlined so that when someone clicks this, they can learn a little bit more. They say, I have an employee in corporate event. They click it and then they can read more versus reading a little bit on the home page, just to streamline it to see. Are there's 5 of them, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Are these like your 5 main events? Do you have
Where? Yeah. So those are the ones we book the most, and that's why I put them there.
Mhm.
For the
So when you hit, I'm just checking the mitzvah page, right? Centerpieces, name, sculptures, balloon backdrops, we have it all. When you click that, you have a page directly for bar mitzvahs. Okay. And it shows what you can do for that event. Can you get to that page from the services, or is that just from the home page?
um, I think once they click, well, that's a good question. I don't even remember if I added it. That's a page that I created like 2 weeks ago. Well, I'm not sure where exactly I linked it to besides the homepage. That's a very good question.
Employees and corporate. That
Yeah,
one makes
some of them don't have like their own. I'm still it's a work in progress, I guess.
No, I actually I like this a lot because it helps, like, for example, bridal shower and wedding. So let's click that.
Yeah, that one doesn't have. I think the only one that's finished is the mitzvah one.
Okay. I think that this is a really nice idea for 2 reasons. It's, you give someone another way to identify how to work with you. Maybe they don't know that, they need a balloon column, but if they go to the bridal shower page and they see the balloon column, then it makes sense to them. I also like this idea because you can incorporate some keywords into it. Bridal shower and wedding balloon decor. Or like, I'm just gonna open up Google for 1 second. I'll show you what I would do. Um, bridal balloon decor. Yeah, like I would do like bridal balloon. It seems like when I type bridal balloon arch, it comes up, or bridal balloon entry. Those are words that people are really searching for. I might bridal balloon decor. Decor comes up too. I might take one of those keywords. And if we go back to your website, use that on the bridal page as your H1 so that
Okay.
the H1, the H2, and kind of putting it in your copy. That might be a really nice way to utilize that section. So building out these pages based on these events, but removing from the home page the description. So someone can
Okay.
identify these are the type of events you're going to have.
Sounds good. Will you recommend I switch the placement and put what are you celebrating before the services, or that's fine the way it is?
Quick question. Are you frustrated with your website? Not sure why it isn't converting? I would love to help. That's why I offer my website coaching calls. In just 50 minutes, we'll uncover what's holding your site back and create a plan to fix it. Whether you need help with design, content, or strategy, I'll give you the clear steps to move forward. Click the link in the show notes to book your coaching call today, and let's make your website your best marketing tool. Now back to the episode. That's a good question. I think if these are the most popular events that you do, and you mentioned to me that one of the problems is people don't understand what they need from you, then that would be a nice idea to move the events up to the front, because then when they go to the events page, they can self-identify what type of services they might need from you. I would give that a try. I think that's a really nice option. And if you could, I know you have the text in the image. If you could maybe switch it so that the text from that's actually built into the website is above the image, and then not have it in the image, but make it stand out a little bit more. I know you're kind of playing with like your DIY like theme, so I don't know what's possible. But if possible, to have the words directly on the website first, and then the imagery, and then something. That would be a great idea to move that up higher into the page.
All right.
Yeah, that might help us.
Good.
And then why work with us? So this too is really great. Maybe take away that extra copy at the bottom. Full service solutions, customized.
They like words, apparently.
Well, when you're doing it and like you want to give all the information, then if you just take a step back and say, oh yeah, I have a lot of words. Like maybe we can trim it a little bit. I know we want to share everything. Yeah, take out those paragraphs that describe it and just have a why work with me, and then I put a button underneath.
Okay.
Why work with me, and then take them to the services page so they can learn more. The customer reviews. This is wonderful. Maybe you can throw in that keyword again, balloon decor and photo booth customer reviews, so that it can show up again on the page. And then you have your Google reviews embedded with probably a widget. And this is great because it kind of like helps Google as well know that you're connected to your Google business profile, which I know has a lot of great reviews on there. So that helps overall. So that's wonderful. And then you've got your credibility badges on the homepage, which are really lovely. And then I noticed at the bottom of every single page, you've got that call to action, get a free quote. Perfect. That's what we want to see. And then at the footer, you have your different type of services. Maybe because we just talked about the events being a way that people can self-identify, maybe we put, top events or something like that down at the bottom so that people can access that. And I noticed that you have the servicing and then all different cities that you work with, which is really nice. Something to consider is that you could do some blog posts that use the city name and the keyword balloon decor, like balloon decor in Medford or something like that, and write a blog post about your work in Medford so that you come up in search when someone's searching for balloon decor in Medford. That would help a little bit as an ongoing like content idea. I know you have so many things to do, but you could put that on the list of maybe thinking about if you wanted to write some blog posts about those specific locations that could help you.
Yeah, I'm working on a venue list. So I think that would be a great idea to include them on those, especially the ones that I have worked on. Maybe I can post like the pictures of the event and talk about the venue and whatnot. Okay. Thank you.
That's a wonderful thing to do. Photographers do that a lot, and that helps them. Sharing everything about the venue and all the pictures, and that will generate a lot of traffic for them. So that's a great idea. All right, a couple more things while I'm here. You have a beautiful about page, beautiful image of you, and it's not under the drop down specifically. Under the drop down, you see contact. I know when someone clicks the top level about, they get to this page, but I'd love to see it in the drop down, meet Isabel or meet the team, however you want to share that out so that people can get to this page. Because I think people would, your about page is probably one of your highest visited pages on your website. So it would be nice that people can access it easily.
Okay.
And a quick tip for this page, there isn't an H1. I just pulled up that tool. There are a couple of your pages that don't actually have H1s. Maybe take a peek. You can get this tool and just make sure that there is one. And um, I would put about balloons filled with love, or, meet the team, however you want to share with that, but making sure that you do have an H1 for that page when you land there.
Okay. That's the struggle of building your own website without being
Well, there are so many little bits and pieces.
I appreciate this so much.
Yeah. Okay. And then I love your blog. I love that you share information out. And yeah, think about doing those event pages. That might help a little bit with your traffic.
Mhm. That's a great idea.
And then finally, I'll just pop onto some of your services pages. I did preview. Just check and make sure they have H1s, especially these pages, because you took the time to build them out. And, people might be searching for balloon art. They probably are. That's probably a highly searched term. Making
Mhm.
sure that you do have it in the title first, and then making sure that you have it in an H1. This right here, I don't know how it's tagged, but you can easily change it to be an H1 so that it will show up.
Oh, okay.
When you build it in the back end, you can see, you could change the font size, but then there's also a specific tag. Just make sure it's H1 in that location.
Okay.
And then if you can continue to use that word again. So I'm going to scroll down this services page. We're on the balloon arch page. Petite balloon arch. Yeah, this is right into the page. So that's one use of the word. That's wonderful. You use it in your button. You've got it right here. You have all of the information here. It's wonderful.
A lot of them.
Now here's a thought for you. You do have a lot of information. What if you used, I know you use Elementor. What if you used something like I think it's called like a swipe widget, where you see the picture, you get the title of what it is, and you could include the investment on the front if you want. But when someone hovers or clicks on it, you see the back and it gives you all the details. Maybe that could be a way to streamline some information to make it a little bit more easy for someone to glance at this page and get what they need and find out a little bit more on the topics. Just a thought.
I think I have something similar on the photo booth page where it flips, like the image flips and it has like two different images.
Yeah.
There.
Yeah, and you can have text on the back and you can just see that, but it'll only show up when someone really needs it.
Mm-hmm.
But you do a really nice job with giving out all your different all your different options for this. And then you have that button, get a quote, and the gallery too, so people can see. When someone gets over to the gallery, I just want to make sure, yep, you got it. Let's get a quote. Always at the bottom. That's wonderful. And you even got the structure. Yeah. You have so much wonderful information on here, and I think you do a great job. Maybe just thinking of ways to like streamline it, but understand that not everyone's going to read everything.
Yeah.
And maybe even think of a way, you would know your business best, but if there's a way that you can give them if you have like some kind of document or something where you can do like, are you having this type of event, and you could have it linked to that event page on your website. Is there a way that you could utilize your website with some kind of resource that you could give someone who inquires to give them a little bit more of an easier user journey?
That's what I typically do. Like my welcome, like when they fill out my form, if I'm available, that email has links. So, while we wait, you can check out our, columns, whatever, and see what you would like, type of thing. So that's also kind of the way I was building it. I'm like, okay, if I'm going to answer this question multiple times, I might as well just have a link that I can send them so they can go to my website and get that information so I can get the traffic on the website rather than putting the information on an email.
Yeah.
It's an extra step to click, but hey, if you're interested in getting a service, you will do your research, the way you have to, so you can make the best decision that you can. That's the way I look at it.
Yeah.
At least that's how I purchase, right? If I want something, I'll look at the person's website and like dig in and see what they're about.
Yeah, I love that. So you're already doing it and you're driving people back to your website. That's fantastic. My only other thought was maybe utilizing video somehow as well to answer some questions, or if there's like a traditional path that someone takes, or, uh, you know, just thinking of ways that you can automate it. But it sounds like you're working on like as much as you can do, and then it just comes down to, is someone going to actually, put in the time, or they just want answers from you, and you can only do so much. And I feel like
Yeah.
I've done a lot. Yeah. Um, okay. Yeah, I think like your website is doing really well, and maybe just thinking about streamlining some of your copy, thinking about how you can help people self-identify how they want to work with you, and then keeping an eye on those H1s and the body copy and the keywords on all the pages. Does that make sense?
Yeah. It
Yeah.
does. Thank you so much. I
Okay.
never, again, you don't know what you don't know, right? Well, I
Yeah.
have this information. I
Yeah.
can continue to make improvements.
Absolutely. And Isabel, why don't you shout out your business, tell everyone who you are, what you do, how they can find you, like all the things.
If you're looking for balloon decor or you know someone that is, or affordable rental, you can find us at balloonsfilledwithlove.com or on Instagram or Facebook under the same name, balloonsfilledwithlove.com. Thank you.
And that wraps up another episode of Website Design Made Simple. I hope you found the insights shared in this episode valuable and takes you one step closer to creating a website that attracts more of your ideal clients and builds your brand. If you enjoyed this episode, please take a minute to leave a review on Apple Podcasts or a rating on Spotify. Your review will help us reach more small business owners like you who are ready to make more money with their website. Thank you so much for listening, and I'll see you in the next episode.